What you're about to hear has never been told in the Western media. 5 bodyguards from Kim Jong-un's personal security detail the regime's most trusted inner circle escaped with their families in a coordinated operation. 12 years of perfect loyalty meant nothing when a colleague dozed off for 60 seconds and vanished into a prison camp with 3 generations of his family. That's when these elite soldiers realized no one is safe. This is their first testimony. For more exclusive testimonies, subscribe and become part of our investigative community. My story began like this. Spring 2015, I was 28 years old. That day, I walked through the gates of the Pyongyang Guard Command for the first time. A farmer's son from Heryong, Hamgyong province, a small town right on the Tumen River, had become a bodyguard protecting Kim Jong-un. I could barely believe it. My parents farmed corn. We were poor. But when I reached military age, my father said, "Chulsu, you're tall and strong. Try for the special forces." That's how our family survives. Those words changed my life. I enlisted at 19. The training was brutal. I woke at 5 every morning and ran 12 miles. Hand-to-hand combat, marksmanship, swimming, I mastered it all. When others rested, I stayed on the training grounds. Why? For a poor farmer's son from Horyong, this was the only path to Pyongyang. After 2 years, opportunity knocked. The Guard Command was recruiting bodyguards. Hundreds applied nationwide. Only 10 made it. When I heard my name, I felt like I'd won the world. Everything changed. I got an apartment in central Pyongyang reserved for bodyguards only. 2 bedrooms. Back in Horyong, 5 of us shared 1 room. The rations were far better too. Real rice, not mixed with corn. Meat came once or twice a month. When my parents visited and saw the apartment, they cried. "Chulsu, you've become someone great. You're the pride of our family." My father's words still echo. In 2016, I got married. My wife Soon-hee was a nurse who'd graduated from Pyongyang Medical College. My job as a bodyguard helped me meet a good match. A year later, our son was born. 3 years after that, a daughter. Our small apartment filled with children's laughter. Every morning at 6, I left for work. Putting on my uniform, I felt proud. I protect the supreme leader. I have the nation's most important mission. That's what I believed. Back then, I truly did. The work was hard but rewarding. 24-hour shifts ready to deploy at any moment. But I never complained. I felt honored. A farmer's son from Horyong here. It felt like a miracle. When I came home in the evening, my young son ran to me. "Daddy!" Lifting him up, I felt I had everything. My wife had dinner waiting. "Honey, you worked hard today." That one sentence erased the day's fatigue. On weekends, we walked along the Taedong River, holding my son's hand, carrying my daughter on my back. I thought, my children will have it better than I did. As a bodyguard's kids, they'll get into good schools. Their future is secure. I really believed that. But I didn't know. I had no idea how quickly it could all crumble. Those peaceful days, I never imagined they'd end. Fall 2019, an event shook my life. It started as a routine workday. After morning roll call, we took our positions. I rode in the lead security vehicle. Senior Choi Min-soo, as always, took the rear. Senior Choi was 2 years older than me. 12 years as a bodyguard. He was perfect. Top in marksmanship, top in fitness, a model of loyalty. Always kind to juniors. When I first joined, he taught me everything. "Chulsu, you can't let your guard down for a second. We protect the supreme leader." He always said that. That day's mission went smoothly. No problems. We returned to base around 6 p.m. Then suddenly emergency assembly. All bodyguards report immediately. Something was wrong. I ran. In the auditorium, state security agents stood before us. My heart pounded. State security showing up, never a good sign. They called Senior Choi forward. "You committed a grave error during today's mission," the lead agent shouted. Senior Choi's face went white. The error? He'd dozed off briefly in the security vehicle. Less than a minute. And it happened on the return trip after the mission ended. This is treason. A serious crime that could have endangered the supreme leader. Their voices filled the hall. I couldn't believe it. 12 years without a single mistake, and now for 1 minute he's a traitor? That night they took him away. We could do nothing. Just watch. His wife clung to them, sobbing. Their 7-year-old daughter cried, "Daddy!" No one cared. A week later, word came. Senior Choi and his family had been sent to a political prison camp. His wife, his young daughter, even his elderly parents in Pyongyang all taken. 3 generations punished together. That night, sleep wouldn't come. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. My wife slept beside me. In the small room, our children breathed softly. Suddenly, fear hit me. Real fear. 12 years of perfect service and 1 minute ends it all. Someday that could be me. The thought wouldn't leave. My hands trembled. Cold sweat ran down my back. The next morning, my reflection looked strange. Putting on my uniform, I felt no pride. That was odd. Just yesterday, I'd felt so good. At the base, no one mentioned Senior Choi. As if he'd never existed. Everyone stayed silent. Fear kept them quiet. Say the wrong thing and you'd be next. That day, something changed. During missions, thoughts kept coming. What am I doing? Is this right? Doubt crept in. Is it just sending a perfect 12-year veteran and his entire family to a camp over 1 minute? That evening, I came home and looked at my children. My 8-year-old son ran to me. "Daddy, I drew a picture at kindergarten today." Seeing his innocent face, my chest tightened. Senior Choi's daughter was this age. Where is she now? What's happening to her? I asked my wife carefully. "Honey, should we keep living like this?" She looked startled. "Why are you saying that?" I couldn't answer. Our home might be bugged. From that night on, sleep became difficult. In dreams, state security dragged me away. I heard my children crying. I'd wake drenched in sweat, my wife watching with worried eyes. That's when I realized, no matter how loyal, no matter how perfect we were disposable, that truth terrified me. Early 2020, COVID flipped the world upside down. North Korea was no exception. Worse, actually. The border sealed completely. Trade with China stopped. We didn't know what that would mean for us. At first, it seemed manageable. We're bodyguards. We'll be fine. The rations will keep coming. That's what we thought. But 3 months in, things changed. Rations started shrinking. 15 kilograms of rice per month became 10, then 5. Eventually, they stopped. It's temporary. Things will normalize soon. That's what the base said. But a month passed, 2 months, no rations came. Even bodyguard families had to go to the markets. Before, we never needed to. Rations were enough. Now we stood in markets like everyone else, cash in hand. The problem was prices. Rice skyrocketed. 1 kilogram went from 5,001 to 8,000, then 10,000. A bodyguard's monthly salary, about 4,001. Couldn't even buy a kilogram of rice. Even adding my wife's nurse salary, we couldn't afford a month's food. One day, my wife came back from the market crying. "Honey, what's going to happen to us? I can't feed the children." She held 1 small bag of corn. That's all we could afford. Our children started starving. My 8-year-old son and 5-year-old daughter got 2 meals a day. Corn porridge. Rice was too expensive. At first they said, "I'm hungry." Later they stopped asking. They just sat there limp. One day my son collapsed at school. Malnutrition. The teacher called urgently and my wife rushed over. At the hospital, the doctor sighed. "Malnutrition. You need to feed him properly." Obvious, right? If we had food, would he be starving? "Can you give him medicine?" My wife asked. She's a nurse. But the doctor shook his head. "There's no medicine. Hospitals have nothing now. No imports from China." We went home empty-handed. That night, holding my son, he felt so light. Just bones. His arms and legs were like twigs. Only 8 years old. Tears rolled down my face. What kind of bodyguard can't feed his own son? My daughter was the same. 5 years old, but much smaller than her peers. Her hair thinned and fell out. Her skin roughened. My heart felt torn apart. My colleagues faced similar struggles. Lee Gang-cheol had twin sons both hospitalized with malnutrition. Young Woo-jin's 4-year-old had constant diarrhea and severe dehydration. Han Sung-ho lived with his widowed mother who'd collapsed from hunger. We met secretly to talk. "Does this make sense? Who are we? We're bodyguards." Senior Choi said quietly, "In the end, we're the same. Just disposable tools." Those words pierced my chest. He was right. We weren't different from other citizens. Maybe we had it worse. Living in Pyongyang while starving, believing we had privileges when we had nothing. At home, I couldn't look at my children. I felt so sorry. Daddy's a bodyguard. Why are we starving? When my son asked that, I had no answer. Nothing to say. My wife stopped smiling. The light left her eyes. Working as a nurse, patients flooded in, but there was no medicine. Every day she watched people die. Then she'd come home to our starving children. One day my wife said, "Honey, we can't go on like this. The children are dying." Her voice trembled. I knew it too. We couldn't continue this way. That night I looked out the window. Stars shone over Pyongyang's sky. Before I would have thought it beautiful. Not that night. How many children are starving beneath those stars? That's all I could think. Something had to change. We couldn't live like this. I had no power, but I had to do something. For my children. February 2021, a cold winter night. Senior Choi contacted me carefully. "Chul-soo, come to my place tomorrow evening. I'm calling Gang Cheol, Woo-jin, and Sung-ho too. We need to talk." His voice sounded different. Heavy. Serious. 7 p.m. the next day, we gathered at his place. 5 of us from the same unit working together for over 10 years. We'd faced life and death together. In this world, we could trust almost no one else. Senior closed the door and drew the curtains. Worried about bugs, he turned on the radio. Then he spoke quietly. "Brothers, let's be honest. Can we keep living like this?" Heavy silence. Everyone looked down. Gang Cheol spoke first. "I don't know anymore. My twin son's just skin and bones. Yesterday, the younger one fainted. Is this living?" Woo-jin nodded. "My son is 4, but he can barely talk. Malnutrition delayed his development." The doctor said, "If I don't feed him right, he might have lifelong disabilities." His voice caught. Sung-ho wiped tears. "My mother is 60 and weighs less than 90 pounds. What my sister and I earn can't buy even 10 kilograms of rice a month." I saw my mother, eating grass in front of me. My turn. Same here. My son keeps collapsing at school. The teacher says feed him, but there's nothing. My daughter's hair is falling out. My throat closed up. Senior Choi looked at each of us. "Brothers, what are we? Bodyguards. We're supposed to protect the supreme leader, but we can't protect our own families. Is this right?" "Senior, that's dangerous talk," Woo-jin said nervously, but Senior laughed. A bitter laugh. "Dangerous? You think we're safe now? Remember what happened to our senior, who dozed off for 1 minute after 12 years of perfect service." Everyone held their breath. He was right. We were disposable. No matter how loyal, it could end in an instant. "I've made a decision." Senior's voice was firm. "I'm leaving. For my daughter. We can't stay." The room went cold. "You mean defection?" Gang Cheol asked, his voice shaking. Senior nodded. "Yes, defection. There's no other way. Our children will die here. But Senior, we're bodyguards. If we're caught," Sung-ho said, 3 generations will be executed." "I know. That's why we can't get caught. We have to succeed." Woo-jin asked, "Will you go alone?" Senior shook his head. "No. All 5 families go together. Going alone is too dangerous. But together, who are we? We've done security work for over 10 years. Border surveillance, patrol routes, blind spots, we know everything." Those words changed our eyes. He was right. We weren't ordinary citizens. We had knowledge and skills from our bodyguard training. Information from border patrol assignments. Think about it. Senior continued. Using the routes we know, we can avoid surveillance. With 5 of us moving together, we can help each other. 7 children, total adults, can take turns carrying them. "Do your families know?" I asked. "Not yet. I wanted to hear what you think first," Senior answered. We looked at each other. Our eyes told the story. We were all thinking the same thing. We couldn't continue like this. Gang Cheol spoke first. "I'm in. For the twins." Woo-jin nodded. "Me too. My son needs to grow up somewhere normal." Sung-ho wiped tears. "I want to feed my mother properly." My turn. I thought of my son and daughter. Their skeletal frames. "I'm with you. If my children can eat and grow." My voice shook. Senior grabbed each of our hands. "Thank you, brothers. We'll all make it out alive. Not losing a single person. We're taking all our children." We clasped hands. 5 bodyguards, united. From that day, secret preparations began. We each gathered information. Border surveillance schedules, patrol shift changes, river depth and width. We collected every detail our positions allowed. We carefully contacted brokers on the Chinese side. We saved money. For months, we went hungry to save. We gradually told our families. At first, they were terrified. But looking at the children, their resolve hardened. Preparation took 6 months. It felt endless. Every day brought anxiety. What if we're discovered? What if the plan fails? Cold sweats every night. But we had hope. 5 families, 17 people heading toward freedom together. That hope kept us going. August 15, 2021, 2 a.m. The longest night of our lives began. 5 families, 17 people gathered at a point along the upper Yalu River. In the darkness, we could barely see each other's faces. Senior Choi whispered instructions. "In 1 minute, the patrol passes. After that, we have 20 minutes. We crossed the river in that window. We all nodded. Even our breathing went quiet. My wife carried our daughter. The 5-year-old pretended to sleep, but I felt her body trembling. My 8-year-old son gripped my hand. "Daddy, I'm scared," I whispered back. "It's okay. Daddy will protect you. Just a little longer." The patrol's flashlights passed. Senior raised his hand, the signal to move. We started quietly, 17 people in a single file down the riverbank. The water felt ice cold. August, but the river was freezing. Ankle deep, knee deep, waist deep, the water rose. The children made soft whimpers, but they didn't cry out loud. We'd warned them strictly. The hardest part was crossing while carrying children. Gang Cheol carried one twin, his wife the other. Woo Jin had his 4-year-old on his shoulders. Sung Ho carried his 60-year-old mother. We all struggled, but we couldn't stop. Midway across, Woo Jin slipped. Huh, a quiet sound as he went under. His son, too. Our hearts stopped. Gang Cheol rushed over and pulled them both up. Woo Jin had swallowed water but held his son tight. As the child started to cry, his wife quickly covered his mouth. "Shh, baby, hold on. Just a little more." Her voice was desperate. We moved again. But there was a problem. Woo Jin had swallowed too much water and was coughing. He covered his mouth to stay silent, but his body shook. Gang Cheol and I supported him on both sides. Then in the distance lights, the patrol, earlier than scheduled. "Get down!" Senior Choi gestured urgently. We dropped low in the water, submerged to our lips. The children trembled in terror, underwater, barely breathing. I held my son tight. Just a bit more," I repeated silently. The lights came closer, 30 feet, 15 feet. We heard the patrol guards talking. "Quiet night. Let's do one loop and head back." They didn't see us. The darkness and water hit us. The lights moved away. Senior raised his hand, signal to move. We stood on trembling legs. Some children looked half-conscious, too terrified. We crossed the second half. The water grew shallower, knee-deep, ankle-deep. Finally solid ground, Chinese soil. We'd done it. On the bank, we caught our breath. Everyone soaked, shivering. Sung Ho's mother was nearly unconscious. Woo Jin's son kept coughing. But we were alive. All 17 of us safe. "It's not over yet," Senior Choi said. "North Korean surveillance extends here. We need to move fast." We stood. Our bodies felt heavy, but we couldn't stop. We headed to a Korean-Chinese village. A broker we'd contacted was waiting. "Hurry, the vehicle's over there." Hearing his voice, we breathed relief. As we climbed into the truck, my daughter looked back. Across the Yalu River toward North Korean soil, she whispered, "Goodbye." A 5-year-old saying farewell to her homeland. 17 of us hid in the truck. Cramped, but no one complained. Just being alive was enough. The vehicle started. The sound of distance from North Korea. My son hugged me. "Daddy, where are we going?" His voice trembled. I stroked his wet hair. "Somewhere free, where you can eat your fill." Nearby, one of Gang Cheol's twins asked, "Daddy, when we get there, can we really eat every day?" The child's innocent question made everyone's chest tighten. Children whose dream is daily meals, that's why we left. Senior Choi said quietly, "Brothers, we did it." All 17 made it across safely. Tears mixed in his voice. Same for all of us. The truck drove through the darkness, carrying us toward a new life. 17 lives on the line. That long night was ending. But we knew this wasn't the end. It was the beginning. A harder journey still awaited us. The moment we set foot on Chinese soil, we thought we'd found freedom. But we were wrong. A new hell was just beginning. The broker took us to a warehouse in a Korean-Chinese village in Jeollon province. "Hide here for a few days. We need to plan next steps." We hid in the rundown warehouse. 17 people in a tight space. The problem was the children. 7 kids staying quiet, nearly impossible. 4 years old, 5, 6. Young children who couldn't make a sound. If discovered, we'd be sent back. "Mommy, I'm hungry," one of Gang Cheol's twins whispered softly. His wife quickly covered the child's mouth. "Shh, you have to be quiet. You have to hold on." But the children were at their limit. They'd starved in North Korea, barely ate during escape. The brokers secretly brought food at night, Chinese dumplings and bread. The children's eyes widened. "What are these?" Woo Jin's son asked, seeing dumplings for the first time. "Can we eat them?" Watching them ask so carefully broke my heart. Eat a lot. We gave the children first. Watching them eat dumplings brought tears. In North Korea, they never had this. Here, it's common food. A week passed. The situation didn't improve. The broker looked troubled. "Hiding 17 people together is too difficult. Chinese public security has increased crackdowns. Then what do we do? Senior Choi asked. You'll need to split up by family, 5 different locations. The broker's words froze us. We came together, now we separate. But there was no choice. We swallowed tears and parted. Choi's family to a farmhouse in Yanbian, Gang Chiol's to Heilongjiang, Wujin's to Liaoning. 5 families scattered. Our family hid in a Korean-Chinese home in Jilin City. An elderly woman named Mrs. Kim took us in. We're the same people. How can I turn you away? Hide in my attic. The 60-year-old woman's warm words, we were grateful. The attic was small, barely room for our family of 4 to lie down. But we couldn't complain. Even this was a blessing. During the day, we couldn't go outside. Couldn't open windows. Public security patrolled constantly. We had to stay silent as mice. The children wanted to run and play, but we had to stop them. Daddy, how long do we stay here? My 8-year-old son asked. I didn't know. How long? Just a bit more. Soon we'll go somewhere better. I answered, but without certainty. A month passed, then 2. Life in the attic was unbearable, especially for the children. Unable to go outside and run, unable to speak loudly. The smiles disappeared from their faces. One night, Mrs. Kim came to the attic. Here's a Korean pastor's contact. They help defectors. Try calling them. She gave us a small piece of paper. With trembling hands, we dialed the number. Hello, we're defectors. My voice shook. A warm voice came through. Brother, don't worry. We'll help you. They were part of a Korean missionary network. People who help defectors in China. 5 families all separated? We'll help reunite you. Hearing that brought tears. After 3 months, our 5 families reunited. At a safe house arranged by the missionaries. Seeing each other's faces, we broke down crying. Brothers? Senior Choi embraced us. The children reunited too. You're all okay. The twins grabbed my son's hands. Sung-ho's mother looked much thinner but smiled. We're all alive. The missionaries told us. Now we prepare the route to South Korea, via Thailand. Moving 17 people at once is difficult, so we'll go in 3 groups. We hid in China for 6 months. It felt endless. Every day brought anxiety and fear. What if public security catches us? What if we're sent back? Nightmares every night. But during that time, we learned one thing. Good people exist in this world. Like Mrs. Kim, like the missionaries, people who help because we're the same people, just because we're human. One day, my daughter asked, Daddy, there are more good people, right? My 5-year-old's innocent question. I answered, of course. There are far more good people. That's why we're alive. 6 months in China, a time of hiding, but also a time of keeping hope alive. We survived and we were together. January 2022. Finally, the journey to South Korea began. The missionaries made careful plans. Moving 17 people at once attracts too much attention. 3 groups heading to Thailand. The first group was Senior Choi's family and Gang Chiol's, 7 people. I'll go first and wait. You all make it safely too. Senior gripped our hands. Separating felt scary again, but this time we had hope. We'd meet in South Korea. 2 weeks after Senior's group left, Woojin's family and Sung-ho's family departed second. 6 people. Chulsu, see you in Seoul. Woojin smiled. I held back tears. Our family was the last group. Just 4 of us left. The wait felt long. Daddy, when do we see our friends again? My son asked. He missed them. Soon. We'll meet again in South Korea. Finally, our turn came. March 2022. The missionary told us, now you cross the China-Laos border, then head to Thailand. It's a rough road, but the end is in sight. We rode in a truck for days, through southern China toward Laos. Crossing the border made us nervous again. But this time, the brokers knew the way. In Laos, we crossed a river. The Mekong, they said. It reminded me of crossing the Yalu. But this was different. This time, we were heading toward freedom. Arriving in Thailand brought real relief. Once you're here, you're almost there. Now just get to the South Korean embassy in Bangkok? The missionary's words brought tears. We'd really made it. We reached the South Korean embassy in Bangkok. Seeing the large Taeguk flag waving, my legs went weak. There. Is that our country's flag? My wife asked, voice trembling. Yes, that's our country. Where we're going? Walking into the embassy, a staff member greeted us. Welcome. Did you defect? In our language. Hearing that warm Korean, tears burst out. Yes, we came from North Korea. The staff looked surprised. Your family is 4 people? But earlier arrivals said there were 13. Yes, we're 5 families, 17 people total. We came in 3 groups. The staff was shocked. 17 people and 5 of Kim. Jong-un's bodyguards? After confirming our identities, they were more surprised. This is really a major incident. We need to report to the NIS. Days later, NIS officials came. 5 bodyguards defecting with their families in a group that's never happened. And 7 children, too. How did you? Even they found it hard to believe. We underwent detailed interviews. Defection circumstances, bodyguard life, internal North Korean information. They asked a lot. But it was okay. We were safe now. The happiest moment was reuniting with our 13 comrade families. We met at the embassy safe house. Brothers. We embraced and cried. The children reunited too. After a month apart, they'd gained some weight. Thai food is delicious, Woo Jin's son said, smiling. Just hearing children's laughter made us happy. Senior Choi said, we did it. All 17 made it here safely. We didn't lose anyone. Those words we all nodded. From North Korea through China to Thailand. A long journey, but together. The NIS processed our entry to South Korea. This is a special case, so we'll expedite it. Especially with children. We appreciated their consideration. We waited another month. During that time, we recovered in Thailand. Ate properly, rested properly. The children ate their fill for the first time. 3 meals a day seemed miraculous. Sung-ho's mother cried while eating. I haven't eaten like this in years. It feels like a dream. The 60-year-old woman's tears, we cried with her. Finally, the flight date to South Korea was set. May 3, 2022. We boarded the plane to Incheon Airport, all 17 of us together. Through the plane window, Thailand receded. My son looked out. Daddy, is that South Korea? Not yet. A few more hours. My daughter nestled in my arms and slept. A peaceful face. She didn't have to be scared anymore. Didn't have to starve, didn't have to hide. My wife in the next seat took my hand. Honey, we did the right thing, didn't we? I nodded. Of course. We gave our children a future. The plane flew toward South Korea, carrying 17 people, toward freedom, toward hope. The end of a long journey was in sight. I'll never forget stepping onto the ground at Incheon Airport, May 3, 2022, 3 p.m. The plane door opened and we stepped onto Korean soil. Welcome to the Republic of Korea. The airport staff's greeting, tears poured out. Leaving the airport, I was amazed. So many people. Everyone moving freely. No one watching them, no one afraid. Honey, those people, they all look free. My wife said, eyes wide. My daughter stopped at a convenience store. Daddy, that store. The lights are on. But it's nighttime. My 5-year-old marveled at a 24-hour store. In North Korea, no shops had lights at night. Our 5 families rode a Ministry of Unification vehicle to Hanawon. In the car, looking out the window brought gasps. So many cars. The buildings are all so tall. Everyone's clothes are so clean. We arrived at Hanawon. You'll spend 3 months here learning about life in South Korea, the staff explained. All 17 training together was good. We could lean on each other. First evening we ate in the dining hall. Rice with several side dishes. Kimchi, vegetables, meat, fish. The children looked amazed. Can we eat all this? My son asked carefully. I answered, yes, you can eat it all. Here, you eat like this every day. Gangcheol's twins cried while eating meat. Brother, why are you crying? The younger asked. It tastes so good. Seeing a 6-year-old cry over meat, we adults cried too. How hungry had these children been? Life at Hanawon was full of wonder. We used the internet for the first time. I searched North Korea news, so much information came up. Things we could never know in North Korea. Honey, now I see how deceived we were. My wife sighed. The children adapted faster. They knew Hangul, but the pronunciation was different. Abuji became Abeoji. Iomani became Ioma. Awkward at first, but they learned quickly. One day, Woo Jin's son asked, Teacher, why is there no Kim Jong-un picture here? The 4-year-old's innocent question made the teacher smile. This is a free country. We don't need those pictures. After 3 months of training, we entered society. All 5 families decided to settle in one Gyeonggi city. We didn't want to separate. We came together, we wanted to live together. At first, everything felt strange. At the mart, too many products we didn't know what to buy. Is this all real? Sung-ho's mother asked. In North Korea, the market had less than a tenth of this. Banking was difficult. We'd never seen an ATM. This machine gives out money. Amazing. With one card, buy things, withdraw money. unimaginable in North Korea. But we learned. Slowly, one thing at a time, the children started school. At first, classmates thought their way of speaking was interesting, but they made friends quickly. Children adapt faster than adults. We 5 bodyguards found work. We applied to security companies using our bodyguard experience. You guarded Kim Jong-un? Then you must be highly skilled. The interviewer hired us, impressed. Working together, we started a small security company. We called it Freedom Security. Gratitude to this country that freed us. With 5 of us pooling our strength, business went well. On weekends, our 5 families gather. Children play together, adults eat and talk. Brothers, we made the right choice, didn't we? When Senior Choi asks, we all nod. Sometimes I think of North Korea. Parents and siblings we left behind. I miss them, but I have no regrets. We made this decision for the children. One day my son came home from school and said, "Now, Daddy, today, the teacher taught us about unification. Our country used to be one." "That's right, it was one," I answered. "Then can it become one again?" my son asked. I stroked his head. "Of course. Someday it will be one. In your generation, it definitely will." My daughter asked too. "Daddy, then can we see Grandma and Grandpa in North Korea?" My chest tightened. "Yes. When we're unified, we'll see them. That day will come. Now I give lectures. I go to schools and tell children about North Korea. North Korea is the same people. Your brothers and sisters live there. If we achieve unification, they can live freely too. Sung-ho's mother is 62 now. Her health has recovered greatly. Eating like this, it's heaven. My Sung-ho is a good son. Seeing her smile at her son makes me proud. At night, we walk as a family. Along the Han River, watching the lights. Is that across the river our country too? My daughter asks. I answer, yes, it's all our country. A free country. I'm happy now. My children eat their fill, go to school, play with friends. My wife works as a nurse at a hospital and smiles. We live freely. Sometimes I dream. A dream of a unified Korean peninsula. North Koreans living freely too, happy like us, smiling. I believe that dream will become reality someday. 17 of us survived together. Left North Korea, passed through China, crossed through Thailand, arrived in South Korea. A long journey, but no regrets. This is the freedom we chose. Thank you for listening to my story. In North Korea, countless people still starve and suffer. I hope they too can find freedom someday. I desperately hope unification comes and everyone can live happily. Our story isn't the end. It's the beginning. The beginning of free lives, the beginning of a hopeful future, and the beginning of the unification that will come someday. Thank you.